Good evening. David Hartman, owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Today's theme is club level worth the price? We're talking about the top level of suites and rooms at hotels and resorts worldwide. Stayed at recent club level at Walt Disney World. We'll talk about that. Did a show about that last week. Check that out. And we checked out Hard Rock Hotel, where I am today, Universal Orlando. And I've stayed in club level around the world in my role as owner of Fantastic Endeavors Travel Agency. Welcome to our Joy of the Journey luxury travel show. Of course, luxury is synonymous with club level or suite level, depending on the resort you go to. Today, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of club level in my experience traveling and also reading up of the trades, because it's a question. Is it worth the price? And there are some pros, some amazing pros, and there are some cons, mostly in the price. As always, please like this wherever you're watching it and share it. Really does help me out. And subscribe to the Fantastic Endeavors YouTube channel. It's a growing channel you want to be a part of. And glad that you're here today. We are rocking it from the Hard Rock Hotel, because everyone should be treated like a rock star. Wearing my rock star Freddie Mercury shirt, because that's why you do club level, be treated like a rock star. I do have a little bit of multimedia to show you from my trip last weekend, so stay tuned for that. Exclusive footage I haven't shown yet. And we are on Dave's Disney Today, not a Disney show, but we are talking about a recent stay at Disney. And Disney World and all Disney properties have amazing club level if you're into their properties. So stay tuned for a sneak peek at that too. Let's talk about the pros and cons of club level today. First one, the pro, the service. Why? Everyone loves being treated like Freddie Mercury, like a rock star. I mean, come on, like a rock star. That's awesome. Of course, you do this, you pay the extra price for being with the top staff members of that resort. When we were at the rock stars here, the Legacy and the level 7 of the Hard Rock, the people there were phenomenal. Probably the best staff members of the hotel, longest serving. With Disney, you have the best cast members. With Four Seasons and other resorts, you have their top tier gold staff members. You are there with the best of the best, be treated like a rock star. And we'll talk about the access coming up, but it's the service, working with the best people. And I know at Hard Rock, they go out of your way when you're a rock star Legacy club level. And that is a big, big perk. And people want to pay extra to be kind of doted upon. And if you're into that, this is a big perk for you. Very important to be doted upon. So how about the exclusive access? Of course, why are you staying at club level? The clubs, the lounges, where we are today at floor 7 of the Hard Rock Universal Studios, or floor 6 Kilimanjaro Club, and Jumbo House, where we were last weekend. Check out that show last weekend on Enjoy the Journey right here. It was a Saturday night show on YouTube. These are places only people staying in the suite or club level get access to. Whether you're on a cruise ship or at a 4-star resort or a Walt Disney World property or Universal Orlando, they have these exclusive clubs. It's key card access, maybe key card elevator, and maybe includes express check-in, part of that service, and a separate check-in room. I know a lot of cruise ships have priority lounges, Rockstar level at Hard Rock's known for that. And also allow Las Vegas. If you want to express line Las Vegas club level, you will get right past that long check-in line they always have in Las Vegas, and you will get checked in a separate room with amenities and service. So another thing is this access to this check-in, check-out. I know we went to Jamaica last year, Sandals Resort. We had club level, and we actually had Butler. We had a suite, actually, of our own private pool in a Butler Village suite. And that had additional check-in time, additional club level access, and additional concierge services. So part of that access. And part of that too, another pro related to that, exclusive amenities. You may have a separate pool as part of that lounge. You may have a separate lounge to go to as far as check-in and check-out services. You may have separate only things that you can do that non-club level guests cannot. And that's part of the amenities. And of course, my last tip will be the biggest amenity, which is obviously the food and beverage, because that's a major part, because everyone loves free food and beverage. That's why you do it. So again, I'm talking about, is it worth the price? Talk about the pros, and I'll get into the price point comparisons at the end. It varies per resort. It's a decision you have to make, but ideally today, these tips will help you out. Leave a comment in the chat. Have you stayed club level? Was it worth the price? And then how much would you pay for club level? Would you pay, obviously prices don't matter per resort. Would you pay 30% more, 40% more, 100% more? Is it worth it? It depends on the resort. I know for cruise lines, you're going to pay 300% more, but the perks for a week-long cruise are pretty amazing. I know we just experienced them on Celebrity Edge. It was awesome. Pro 4, priority seating or entrance level. This, I will say right now, probably talks more about cruise ship club level, suite level, but also refers to some resorts. I know if you have concerts, you get frontline seating. When Universal had Blue Line Group, if you stayed at a premier resort, you got to sit in the front rows. Early access, early entry. I know Universal all resorts and Disney all resorts early entry, but at club level, some places have distinct to those guests, and that's important. Again, priority seating. How about a private pool where you're not fighting and putting a towel down early? So everybody loves a private pool. Priority seating, priority entry is very important. Another perk of club level access, something that people look for. Is it worth the extra money to you? Maybe no, but it is to somebody else. I know it's a big deal on a cruise ship. For the theaters, they have a separate section for you. For dining, a separate dining room. Part of those amenities and priority you do get. And the last one, of course, why do we come to this lounge right here at Hard Rock? Why are we at Kilimanjaro club level last week? It's the free food and adult beverages. A product that normally in the U.S., because we have very few all-inclusive in the U.S., there is the Club Med Sandpiper Bay on Port St. Lucie. It's not even on the ocean, by the way, and which is nice. And then you have bungalows down here in Key Largo, where I live, and it's a hefty price point, but it's all-inclusive, its own little environment there. That said, our labor system here doesn't work out to make it affordable for companies to do that. The only exception is club level. At Disney last weekend, we ate and drank for 2 days, staying at club level just for one night, by the way. And then we also were part of Hard Rock with Skip Shear, hung out in their lounge and had free dinner, had a full dinner and free drinks for 2 hours. It was amazing. This is the biggest perk for most people, because people love that all-inclusiveness you get for cheap in Mexico and Dominican, but this will get you a slice in the U.S. How much is it worth to you? That is the key, because how much could it be for you? Okay, so let me show you a little bit of a taste of club level. This was last weekend, related to my little show picture I had of me with these adult beverages. This is Kilimanjaro Club, Evening Indulgences. Again, go back to my show last week in my YouTube channel. It was a fantastic show. Skip Shear's guest. Lots of people commenting. It was awesome. And this one is their evening one. They had 4 different servings throughout the day. They had a very full breakfast, a very light safari snacks, and then a pretty good dinner with beers and wine out. But they really went crazy in the evening with desserts and some bottles of liqueur just out for the taking for your little cordials for your dessert. So check it out right now. This is, let me get rid of the banner here. This is Kilimanjaro Club at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jamba House, a deluxe property on Walt Disney World. And this is their club level, and it's pretty amazing. This is their evening indulgences. Jamba from Jamba House, it's evening. Evening is young, and at 8 p.m. at Kilimanjaro Club, it's dessert and deliciousness. Our 4th serving of the day. They have some light desserts. By the way, those are amazing. Some cookies. And some leftovers from dinner. And then on to the usual tea and coffee. And the Mickey bars are now stacked. If you're into frozen Mickey bars. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Woohoo! And those last till the morning. And here's the key part. Hello. The cordials. Suitable for any drink, coffee, tea, or just straight up. Jumbo. So that was Kilimanjaro Club Evening Indulgences. I mean, wow. Look at those 4 high-end bottles of booze. Top shelf liqueur, just out for the pouring. And believe myself, I did indulge before going to a private party at Galaxy's Edge, by the way, for charity. And that was an amazing night. And that really showed me, like, that kind of put that over the top. And by the way, I did not show that video on my show last week. So that was just for you guys, this show. And I know Suzette and Debbie and Mary are watching out there. So that was for you guys who are going to book Club Level. And I've already sold a lot of Club Level off that show last week because I just showed the value. Today is more about the pros and cons about any resort. And that was just one example. So those are the pros. What about the cons? How about what's the problem with Club Level and why doesn't everyone do it? Well, first off, there's a big barrier to entry. It's the price. Oh, first off, Leslie's there. Hey, yes, thank you for the interruption. The private party was for Give Kids the World. The Disney Information Station blog I followed, Dis Unplugged, was part of it, but the organizers were Give Kids the World. They did an amazing job. I mean, I built a lightsaber, which I had over here a minute ago. And it was awesome, and we had a great time. And there's maybe 400 people there, Leslie. It was amazing. And not related to Club Level, but something you could do and be a part of if you stay at Club Level, because you may be invited to a party like that. So let's talk about the cons. Obviously, there's got to be a barrier to entry. And the first barrier to entry resorts make is the price. They can't build a Club Level big enough and provide enough free food to justify a price point. It's got to be exclusive. It's got to be something that's almost unattainable. So, almost unattainable. The price, and is it worth the price? So this could be anywhere from 30 to 300% more than a standard room, depending on the resort. Is it worth it to you? Obviously depends on the situation. I will tell you right now, my Kilimanjaro Club Level room, I got 25% off Florida Resident promo or pass holder promo, very similar. And it was probably at that price only 25% more than the standard rate, maybe 40% more than the discount rate for a standard Savannah View room. I had a Savannah View. That was a key bot. I had room with the zoo. Check out the show. Well worth it at that price. Now, standard rate, it's a bit more, 50, 60% more. Now we're getting like, maybe once. That could be 2. Maybe it's worth the price just once for you. Only once. It's really up to you. We met a guy named Mark. Hey, Mark. He stays Club Level Disney wherever he goes. He's a contractor composer, worked on Illuminations 20 years ago, is working with them. He works on his phone. He works from Club Level. He goes on site and works with the musical directors. And he stays Club Level wherever he goes. Now, that's my kind of client. Anyone like that, feel free to call me up. I'll help you out. I know Club Level around the world. But that's the thing, is it worth it for you? So, and then here you go. Is it worth it? Yes. Leslie says, I wouldn't leave that lounge ever. We didn't leave, Leslie. Honestly, the Kilimanjaro Club we saw at night, we got there in the morning and had a workout and had their morning, had a little champagne and their passion fruit champagne. And then we came back for safari snacks. We had to check out of one room, go to our Club Level room, but they gave us access first thing morning. Keep in mind, know the limits of your Club Level. It actually starts the day at check in the morning at most resorts, not when you're access your room. Ask your front desk for a key. You're paying extra. Make sure you get your benefits. And that's one con I didn't put down. Sometimes you have to work for your benefits. Disney makes it straightforward. Most resorts do not. So make sure you work on that. Put these people to work for you. You are a rock star for a reason, and act like it and be treated like that. That's my tip of the day. Yes, and so Leslie went on, and we worked there till 2, working on the show I did that night I've been talking about. and we got a little tipsy, enjoying cocktails. Their snacks were light, but most people aren't there. It's light for a reason. And then we got ready for the show at 5:30. The dinner came out, then put the gear away for the show and had the Indulgences. We didn't leave it all day. Yes, that lounge will look amazing. Hey, how about the Hard Rock? This does not look amazing. This is an amazing lounge, well spread out. We saw this place fill up and everyone had a seat and they had a great spread of food. So Hard Rock does it very good too. And honestly, for the price point, Skip Shear paid $275, half as much as I did. And that was at a Universal Orlando Studios pass holder rate. So it's all about price point. So what's another con? Obviously, they have to make this limited. How do they make it limited? The benefits are limited to the people in your room, and some resorts are very strict about guests. I would say Disney's a bit more flexible because it's the best cast members who've been there the longest, and they get to know you. Oh, hey, your daughter's visiting, and Skip had his son there. Skip was on my room, but his son was not. Didn't bother the son at all because as long as they have, again, there's key card access. We mentioned access. Most of them key card access to even get to the floor, and especially the lounge. In Grand Destino Club and Walt Disney World, they have a key card for the room itself because it's on a room level that regular rooms are. So that's different. Most of them have a specific level that you can't even get up to without being in the elevator. And they do monitor it somewhat. They're flexible, but some of them are very strict. The benefits I talked about, the pros I had, the 5, are limited just to your room. So, no guests. Depends on the resort. So just be careful of that. And more comments. All right. Hey. I will say, Suzette, thank you for being on again. She was on my Dave's Disney show, exclusive for my Dave's Disney community. If you're a Disney fan, check out Dave's Disney Facebook page. Like that page and hit join group. If you're a true diehard, I do content each week just for that group, either a live feed from the park just for that group or an actual show. And today I did a show all about Rise Resistance. If you're into that, it was awesome. Thank you for being there and being there again. She says, yes, it's beautiful as well. Mary and I used to go all the time at Hard Rock and Hollywood Hotel. Yes, this is modeled after the Hollywood Hotel. It's absolutely gorgeous. My favorite hotel in Universal Orlando. Universal Orlando is not Disney, but their hotels are pretty close to Disney in service and product. Their theme parks are a different breed and more thrill rides than service, but their hotels rock. I'm staying at Portofino Bay. I've toured the others and now stayed at Hard Rock, and it's wonderful. So thank you, Suzette, for that comment. Last con. Going to be a short show today. I have things to do. Just kidding. Limited availability. Of course, there's going to be so many rooms. For Hard Rock, where I'm at right now, is just this level 7. That's it. Maybe 25, 30 rooms. For Disney, their club levels are very restrictive because the lounges are only so big. And a lot of times people have guests, they get overrun. They're trying to prevent that. I'm in Disney Vacation Club. I don't have access to the clubs on campus and all their properties. Only in Animal Kingdom, staying in the top level do I have access. Was an exception that was created when that area was built, in 2006. So there's a limited availability. So if you're in the club level, pick your dates and book early. I'm already booking people for next year, like Suzette and Debbie and Mary and my friend Amelie, who just met Lake Tahoe, is interested. They're already looking at next year because it goes fast. You're going to pay us the highest rate. When discounts come out, it may apply, but not always. But it's going to go. People love club level. And right now, even at Disney, only one of their 15 club level lounges are even open. So that's the main thing. Those are the main things we talked about, the pros and the cons. Obviously, the biggest is going to be the price. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth it? That's an individual decision based on the pros I just mentioned. It also depends on the resort. I will tell you, I would pay Hard Rock $275, whatever Skip paid, anytime it's available. Obviously, September is slow in theme park land of Orlando. Kids are back in school, hurricane season, not a lot of international travels, none right now, and people aren't traveling as much. So you get some great deals. I got 25% off. It was about $550 plus tax for Kilimanjaro Club. Well worth it because without that, it was still $3 something for retail. And then this club level at Hard Rock was only $75 more. Great deal. So look for the deals, and is it worth you? I know some clients, they'll pay 3-4 times the price of a standard room to get that access, especially on a cruise ship where it's really limited, where you have 1,500 cabins and only 125 or a suite level that give the club benefits. I will mention too, keep in mind the concierge services, part of that service of my tip 1, I'll mention again. That's part of being treated like a rock star. And I know clients that book it just for this tip 1. They don't care about the price. They're awesome. They want this benefit. They want to be treated like a rock star. They want that concierge level. In Disney, they have a tier level 1 World Concierge, 25 years of service minimum, working at that front desk. You got a problem on site, they will help you resolve it. So hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Great to have you on. It's all about, is Club Level worth the price? If you're watching this now, please rewind and watch it on recording after I finish the show. We talked about the pros and cons of Club Level and gave exclusive tour of evening indulgences at Kilimanjaro Club, video not shown before, probably the first one shown ever since reopening, because those clubs were closed for a year and a half at Disney, but that one's reopened and now 2 have reopened. So as always, like this where you're watching, subscribe to it. Next week we'll be live again talking about a very vexatious travel topic to be determined. We'll hope to see you then, and you guys have a wonderful weekend.